Ever heard that saying, don't pick a fight you can't win? Someone should really tell Elon Musk that, because today we're doing a deep dive on his recent standoff with Brazil.
Yeah,
And let's just say it got a little messy.
definitely messy.
We're talking about his platform X, formerly Twitter, getting yanked offline in one of its biggest markets. You sent over some really fascinating articles on this, and I gotta admit, I was surprised by how quickly things escalated.
Mm.
I mean, Musk has never been shy about, pushing back against governments trying to moderate content on X. But this went way beyond a few strongly worded tweets.
Oh, absolutely. What makes this situation really interesting is that, we've seen Musk comply with censorship requests in other countries, like India and Turkey, for example.
Yeah.
So it really begs the question, why dig in his heels so fiercely in Brazil? What's at stake here that's different? What's going on?
And speaking of Musk's, defiance, that article you shared, muskybacks.txt, it really highlights just how defiant he was. Like, refusing to remove accounts a Brazilian judge had flagged, publicly calling court orders illegal. It almost felt like he was spoiling for a fight.
Oh, absolutely. And it's important to note, this wasn't just about, a few random accounts. This judge, Alexandre de Moraes, he has a lot of authority in Brazil, especially when it comes to online speech.
Right.
And his decisions, well, let's just say they've been a little controversial.
Yeah, for sure. The article even mentioned that the New York Times, they found that Moraes had ordered the takedown of hundreds of accounts, often without giving a clear explanation as to why.
Exactly.
That's a lot of power.
It is.
So I can kind of see how that might rub someone like Musk the wrong way,
Yeah.
even if his methods were, shall we say, a bit dramatic.
Yeah, a bit much. And the fact that Musk got so personally involved, like this wasn't just some legal team, working behind the scenes.
Right.
He was publicly tweeting insults at Moraes, even calling for his arrest. That's incredibly bold,
For sure.
even for Musk.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, what was his game plan? Did he actually think he could win this standoff with a foreign government? Or was there something else going on?
It really makes you wonder because, for all that bravado, Musk backs down.
Yeah.
Complies with the orders, pays the fines, like the whole 9 yards. It's almost like watching a boxer just back down in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
What do you make of that sudden shift, especially given, everything we just talked about?
It's a great question. And to be honest, I don't know if there's a clear answer. On the surface, it might just be a good old case of pick your battles.
Right.
Maybe the financial pressure of X's dwindling ad revenue coupled with the potential loss of the Brazilian market. It just became too much to bear,
Yeah.
especially with Bluesky and Threads, waiting in the wings to scoop up all those users.
Oh, totally. And let's not forget about Starlink.
Right?
His satellite internet venture, they've been facing their own regulatory hurdles in Brazil.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe protecting that investment played a role in his decision, too.
Absolutely. It's such a tangled web.
Yeah.
It's really hard to know for sure what tipped the scales, but this surrender, if that's what we're calling it,
Yeah.
it had ripple effects. Like some of Musk's most, dedicated supporters in Brazil felt let down, even betrayed,
Totally. That quote from Paulo Figueiredo, he called it and I quote, very sad day for freedom of expression. That really stuck with me.
Yeah.
Because it kind of highlights the weird position Musk has created for himself.
Definitely. It's a fascinating dilemma, isn't it?
Yeah.
On the one hand, you have Musk, this, self-proclaimed champion of free speech, pushing back against what he sees as government overreach.
Mm.
And on the other, he's also the CEO of, this massive global company,
Right.
answerable to shareholders and market forces.
Mm.
This situation in Brazil really brings those two sides into conflict, doesn't it?
It really does. It makes you think, in a world where information is moving so fast across borders, who gets to decide what's acceptable to say and what's not?
That's the question, isn't it?
It's messy. There's so many layers, and I don't think there's an easy answer. This whole thing with Musk in Brazil has just made things even more complicated.
100%. And if anyone out there listening thinks this is just about Elon Musk and his ego, think again. This whole story, it really throws a light on just how challenging it is to navigate free speech in the digital age.
Yeah.
This whole thing with censorship, moderation, corporate interests, the lines are blurry, maybe blurrier than ever.
Totally. There is a lot to unpack here, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I think if this deep dive has taught us anything, it's that the battle for, I don't know what you'd even call it, the soul of online speech, It's nowhere near finished.
Yeah.
It's happening everywhere, and there's no clear winners or losers, just a whole lot of questions we're all going to have to keep asking as we move forward.